Let's see if you make it, boy. Not even the people who are at the top can do anything to me. I am death in person. My power is very great. I exist since the beginning of everything, so you better resign yourself to my power and accept your destiny. I will not accept what you say. Maybe I'm too small to understand some things, but I only have one thing clear. I must protect the people I love the most, and the person I love the most is my master. Goku would raise his ki, but when he did it, he would realize that nothing was happening. What happens because my body does nothing? Perhaps my power has disappeared completely. But even if I have no power, I'm not going to give up so quickly. Goku would throw a blow against the god of death, but at the moment of touching the body of that being, his hand would begin to disappear. In the same way, he would use the other hand, but the exact same thing would have happened. The god of death would only start to laugh. Suddenly, with a single movement of this god, Goku would fall to the ground without being able to move, while a dark hand would come out of the floor to try to swallow Goku's soul. Now you see, child, no matter if you were born blessed with omnipotent power, you are still weak and will never be able to protect anyone. That's why your master will die, and when he falls to this world, I will make him cosmic dust with my hands. Don't you dare do anything to my master! I will never forgive you. Goku, despite not having any kind of power, would have moved a few meters where the god was. Although the dark hand was dragging him, Goku somehow managed to move. Child, I see that you have something, but even so, you will not be able to save yourself. Until now, the god of death does not forgive anyone. Goku would be dragged to the ground, while out of desperation he begged to at least let him save his master. When his body was about to be turned into a pile of bones, a voice would be heard. Stop at once! The Dark Hands, upon hearing this voice, would have stopped, and not only that, they would have released Goku and then fled, because they knew that they could not disobey the order of that being. This person was known as the Empress of Death, the person who is in the #1 position, the strongest person in the world of the dead. Don't you think you're being a little rude with that child? Just look at his face of confusion and fear. From what little I could hear, what do you think if we give him another chance so that he can save his master? But what are you saying? He has already died more than once. For having the omnipotent blessing, I spared his life one time. I can't let him go again. Those are the rules of this world, not even because he is the strongest being here. Don't think you can break them just because you can. I know that perfectly well, but it doesn't matter. This child has a strong determination. Didn't you see that? Despite having no power in this world, he can move against the Dark Hands. Remember that the people who come here are just an empty shell. Their true power is in their original body. What are you trying to tell me, that this time you're going to have mercy for this poor child? I'm not saying that, but seeing how fragile he is only causes me tenderness. The other time you gave him the opportunity to revive, now I think it's only fair that I give him a chance too. When the god heard that, he would be speechless. Just this once, you are right. Every 10 days we are able to emit a rule of this world. I guess you still haven't used yours. To think that you would waste it on this child. Anyway, do what you want. I only tell you that if he falls one more time, I will make him cosmic dust. The god of death would leave the place, as he also had other matters to attend to. While he went to settle his other matters, he would think. The Empress for the first time showed kindness to that child. It must be for something. I guess it reminds her of the son she could never save. Meanwhile, the Empress of Death, she would approach Goku, who was on the ground. With a single snap, she would have regenerated his lost hands. Child, you are very lucky for this time you have been saved, but do your best not to fall here again. See you soon. Suddenly, the dark sky of the place of the dead would open up, and from it a great light would appear, and Goku's soul would begin to float on its own. In a single blink of an eye, Goku's soul would have returned to his body. Latios at that moment was approaching the body of the Whis. You are a bastard. How dare you use the final judgment against that child? Shut up, Angel. I just did my job. I didn't have this in my plans. but he was just a hindrance. I also have things to protect, so see you soon. But at that moment, a strong current would start blowing all over the planet of the Beerus god. What on earth is causing this overnatural phenomenon? Don't tell me that. Goku would have risen from the ground, and with tremendous rage, I would start to scream to transform you into the mastered Ultra Instinct. I'm really angry. I won't forgive you for hurting my master, and much less for sending me to that ugly world. Goku, at an impressive speed, would start hitting the guy from all directions. When Latios tried to hit Goku, he was not able to do it, since he only hit a shadow of him. Suddenly, Goku would put a ball of energy in his chest, which would send him flying far away. Latios would crash into 3 planets. How could he be able to revive? And now he has much more power than before? Not even a god has managed to get out of that world. Perhaps the final judgment could not eliminate him. Latios could only think of this moment. His body was unable to react because of the wounds that Goku had caused him. Goku, seeing Latios very hurt, he would launch a giant energy ball. The energy with divine power was falling on Latios, but Latios with all his strength would open his eyes to use his ability to reflect. His eye would open and start to bleed, but spending much of his power, he managed to reflect Goku's attack. Goku, instead of being scared because the guy managed to reflect his attack, he would have created a portal again to make his energy ball enter that portal. But before the portal closed, Goku would quickly move to where Latios was lying on the ground and then grab a leg. Wait, kid, what are you doing? Are you going to send me into that portal so that my body will be ashes? Wow, so you're a little smart, because that's just what I'm going to do. Wait a minute, if you do that, I won't be able to take care of my daughter! I only did this because someone ordered me to. Shut up, you scum. I don't want to listen to your pleas. Just hearing you talk makes my mind sick. It's time for you to see death in person. Goku, with most of his strength, would have sent Latios' body flying so that he could enter the portal. Once the body of Latios entered the portal, Goku's energy ball would have collided with a planet, thus causing a giant explosion. Goku, who was far away, could only see a bright light, and then return to his base state. Meanwhile, Latios miraculously survived the explosion, but this time his body was in a very critical point. To try to save himself, he would have surrendered, and then teleported to the palace of that being. Latios began to crawl through the world, asking his master for help to heal his wounds, since the pain he felt was unbearable. So, you had the dignity to come back. You know what you did, right? I only asked you for one thing, and you couldn't even fulfill it. Master, please excuse me. I didn't think that child was so powerful. Besides, not only that, he was able to revive from the dead. And you think that matters to me now? Your daughter's life and yours are about to end. The omnipotent being known as Bizarre would have grabbed the head of Latios to start smashing it against the floor, and then use his white monarch flame. His body would begin to burn, but Latios, before being consumed, would have begged for mercy for his daughter again. But Blizzard would pretend he hadn't heard that. Latios was undoubtedly useless, but it wasn't all bad. That kid managed to convince the god of death if he has guts. I hope what happened today didn't cause so much commotion in that multiverse. Meanwhile, Goku. He would have run to his master to hug him. Master, if I had been more attentive, maybe none of this would have happened. Child, this is not the time for you to be sorry. Today, I could see how strong you really are. Thanks to your determination to save me, you not only saved my life, but the lives of all the people in the universe. Without a doubt, I am proud of you. And what do you think of the boy, Mr. Beerus? I see him very quiet. I find it hard to admit it, but this boy has great potential. I guess in a way I'm grateful that he saved your life, and not only yours, he also saved my life. That's why I'll let you stay on this planet. Thank you very much, God Beerus. You will see I will become much stronger. More than a week would have passed. Whis, after healing his wounds, had regenerated all the planets that were destroyed. Although that day, the whole universe trembled because of the fight between Goku and Latios. Almost nobody remembered what happened that day, the power of Goku, and the fact that there are beings capable of destroying multiverses in a single movement. must be a very well-kept secret. But although no one managed to realize it, such a battle would not go unnoticed by the High Priest. Meanwhile, in the palace of the King of Everything, more than a week has passed since that battle in Universe 7. That child who managed to beat that deity must be someone blessed, but having him in this multiverse can be a great danger. As time goes by, people from all universes, multiverse, and dimensions, among much more, will want to end the life of the child, just for the purpose of knowing how he got that great power. I will have to go personally and banish that child from this multiverse. Mr. Zeno-sama, I have unfinished business and will be back soon. The High Priest would have created a portal to go in just a second to the planet of the god Beerus. Goku, who is fighting with the god Beerus in a friendly battle, would have stopped fighting after seeing the great portal that was in the sky. The great priest had come out of the portal. It cannot be the